I'm coming. Here I am. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that last one. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I can't get that last three off, but I'm small right now. Anyways, welcome everybody to our Midlife Mojo Mondays. Typically, we do this, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I have a special guest on today that I'm excited to introduce you to. And with the time difference and all that, this was a better time for us. So thank you so much for coming on live tonight at 7 p.m. But just know that typically our Midlife Mojo Mondays are at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be back that next week. So you guys know for these Midlife Mojo Mondays, I get on and I do some kind of education, a demonstration, and lately I've been starting to bring on some different guests. So I am really excited, to bring on this guest because this week we have a theme every week in the Midlife Mojo group. So this week was I've got a bone to pick with you because it's National Osteoporosis Week this week. And so I thought this guest was a perfect person to bring on. And her name is Batista Gremaud. And, I didn't ask her before. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. She'll let me know if I didn't when she comes on. But let me just read to you a little bit about Batista. And I just want you to know that I want you guys to make sure you stay to the end, because at the end, we're going to talk about her upcoming master class that she's going to be offering to everybody. So make sure you stay to the end so you can hear all about that. But Batista is an international body designer. She's the #1 best-selling author of Feminine Body Design, Empowering Fitness for a Pain-Free Life, co-creator of the Feminine Body Design online strength training mentoring system, co-host of the Esoteric Principles of Bodybuilding, and producer of the Dr. Fitness USA show. Recipient of the Most Outstanding Fitness Program 2019 by the Winner's Circle Mastermind at Sea, and contributor for the In the Limelight publication, featured as an expert authority speaker on the International Pain Foundation and a presenter on various health summits, such as Life Mastery, Girl You're Enough, Weight Loss Summit, and the Suicide Prevention Show. So I'm going to bring Batista on. Let me get rid of all this other stuff, and we will bring her on. There she is. Welcome, welcome. Did I pronounce your last name right?
You did fabulous.
Oh, yay. Wonderful. So thank you so much for having, just coming on today. And I said that you were in a different time zone, but I actually forgot exactly where you're from. Where is it that you are talking to us?
I'm talking to you from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, nice, nice. So good weather there these days?
It's actually really nice right now. It's been hot, but it's a little bit better now. Yeah.
Good. Nice, nice. Well, I'm happy to have you on here and share with my midlife women. I know that you too have an affinity and, for the midlife woman and helping her, achieve her health and wellness goals. And so what I love about bringing on people is I feel that everybody fills a different hole for everybody else, right? So I teach people know that I'm a Pilates instructor and I have my own weight loss program and so forth. But there's just not one size fits all for everybody, right? So maybe intermittent fasting is great for me, but keto is great for somebody else. And so I want to make sure in this group that I'm hitting everybody and that everybody is getting what they need. And when I met Batista, I met her in a networking group about a month ago, and then we connected afterwards. I just knew I had to bring her on because she's just got something unique and special, in this kind of exercise fitness world, and something that I know can really benefit you guys. So you're in for a definite treat. So, Batista, I have a question for you. So how did you kind of just get started in general? Have you been doing this as a new, new second career, or have you been in the health and wellness world for a while?
Okay, so originally I was a ballet dancer and flamenco dancer. So that's my background as a professional dancer. And I had a lot of injuries from dancing. I also had some car accidents throughout my life, especially in my early 20s. I suffered a series of car accidents, and spending my entire life dancing compounding over a lot of injuries. By the time I hit my mid-40s, I was really against the wall. I was in chronic pain all the time. And I had actually tried just about everything to heal my injuries. I was healthy. I was eating good food. I was exercising, maybe over exercising. As a professional dancer, there's something to be said about that. But in any case, I had done all the conventional modalities for healing and the not so conventional modalities, hands-on healing and all the spiritual ways. And really, I wasn't getting better. And one day I had a moment of clarity. I was in a meditation class, for that matter, and the topic was body, mind, spirit integration. And it's kind of like I woke up out of a dream or something, and I said, what do you mean body, mind, spirit integration? My body's like gone. you know and I spent all these years, 35 years, really trying that integration and dancing and doing all the right things, but my body was just not keeping up with it. Wasn't just keeping up. And so I prayed really hard. I said something is missing here, and I basically did everything I ever learned about manifesting. There's the secret and this and that. That was before that. And I lit candles. I put a group together. We prayed. We made markup boards. And the next day, I met Dr. Fitness USA. So what happened is we met by accident. Of course, it wasn't an accident at that point. You understand?
Yeah.
For me, when we crossed paths, and he asked me, "Well, who are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm Batista." I was at the time at a restaurant waiting to have an interview with the owner, where I was going to put a dance show together. And I said to him, "Well, who are you?" And he said, "Well, I am an international body designer." My jaw dropped to the table, literally, and I said, "That's what I need." For me, it was like a sign, right? It was like a sign.
Absolutely.
And
I think sometimes when you're open, right, you're looking and you're open, people are put in your path, but you have to be open and looking and being aware. So that's
yes,
amazing. Yeah.
absolutely, because I was really ready for this. I had that moment of clarity. I knew that they had to be an answer to the body that I had overlooked, or that I wasn't aware of. So when I met him, he's a kind of a different color. He's out of the box, and the concepts and philosophy that he taught me or that he talked about, were very unfamiliar to me. For me, as a professional dancer, I was brought up with a no pain, no gain. The show must go on, and you show up no matter what. And he was telling me things that are completely different, like work out from a female perspective, and as a woman you have to stop giving, you have to receive, and but you have to lift weight, and it has to be heavy weight. And I'm going, what? uh, Heavy weight and not doing anything that's uncomfortable, we're not fitting in the same sentence in my
Yeah.
in my vocabulary. It's like, that doesn't sound right. However, I learned a long time ago that when you pray for something and something comes your way, even if it doesn't look the way you expect, then you better open the door. And so that's what I did. I hired him, and at the time it was all done in the gym, and at the time it was done at Gold's Gym Venice, the mecca of bodybuilding. Where all the
Wow. You mean like
big
from LA, Venice Beach?
yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And me, I'm
Fun.
like, I'm in the dance world, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I found myself with all these huge muscles, and I'm going, okay,
These are
and
the girls.
yeah, and it was very intimidating. And besides, I was so hurt, I couldn't lift anything. I couldn't even. I had a frozen shoulder. I had,
Oh yeah.
I had my back had been very injured for like 30 years. It was so scary. And within the first 20 minutes of this first session, I was leg pressing 300 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And even chest, I couldn't move my shoulder, right? But I was like, chest pressing 25 pounds dumbbells, 25 pounds. I couldn't lift a pound of anything. And somehow I was terrified, but I did it and it didn't hurt. And and within a couple of weeks of doing the programs, all my injuries started to disappear, literally. I think
Wow.
the backache was gone in about a week, literally. And I recovered from all my injuries, and so I married him.
That's the best way to say well. There you go.
It seemed like the logical thing to do.
It
So
really does. That's,
yeah,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
and so that was the beginning of this journey for me, because it was an eye-opening thing, and I wanted to know everything about it. Why does it work like this? Why now I'm hurt, now I'm not? And I did personal training, and I did all the exercises that there is to do: yoga, Pilates, stretching, you name it. And nothing was working to heal myself, but this worked. And so in the process of researching and wanting to know, to have all the answers, I wrote the book Feminine Body Design: Empowering Fitness for a Pain-Free Life.
Love that
That
name. Love that name.
Yeah, this dispels the myth in fitness, for especially for women. And these were all the myths that I believed, by the way.
Mhm.
And absolutely. And then I became a personal trainer, and I ended up being a personal trainer at Gold's Gym Venice for 5 years.
I love that.
So
That's amazing, right? I mean, so I just want you ladies to hear that, right? I mean, here was like a chance encounter. Not only like changed her body, changed her life, right? She got married to this man, but now you had a whole other career at this place that started. I love that full circle. I mean, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
a powerful story.
yes, it's wonderful. And who makes a career transition at 50 years old, right? Uh, and
Us, we
yeah.
all do it.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. So so it's been an amazing journey, and I learn. I continue to learn. I still learn after 11 years. The I see miracles every day of people recovering their body, their life, their injuries, and just like me. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to do, to help people to reclaim their strength and their bodies. I've been pain free 11 years. 11 years pain free, and stronger than ever. I'm 60 years old. I leg press 650 pounds now, and yeah, I know.
You're so small. That's
I know.
amazing.
Yeah.
Christina, you are fit. You are without a doubt. I don't know. I would have never imagined 650 pounds fit. So that's amazing. That's
Well,
amazing.
I couldn't have imagined it either if you told me back then that that would happen. But when you do it,
60 years old and doing that, right? And you were saying at 40 you weren't, right? So, and I just want ladies to know, I mean, like she's living proof, right? I mean, there's never too late to start. And it doesn't matter, like you're saying, like your pain, it doesn't even, I'm saying you got to start somewhere. And I think what, I love about your story is that you were desperate, you went seeking, and you found and you actually made the change. Because a lot of us, we say we want change. Oh, I want to be out of pain. But then we don't really do the work that it takes to do it. And there, like I always say, there's no magic wand of anything. You've got to put in. And so I think that's just, an amazing, full circle story. And now you're helping other women. So I love the name of your book, and you talked about myths. So can you share with us some of those myths, maybe? In
yes,
your
well,
book?
the first one, of course, is that strength training is going to make you bulky.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. All right, there you go. 650, 100%. Yes. But all women, I mean, really, every woman believes that, right? I don't want to lift weights because, so we all do our 1 or 3 or our 5 pounds.
Yes,
So tell us
exactly.
about that.
Exactly. And I suffered from that myth, from that belief system myself. And, as a dancer, that was my first fear. Oh my God, I'm going to have these big muscles. And, but I was desperate. I wanted to heal my injuries. That was a priority. So I went for it. And I can tell you that you do not get bulky. And there's several reasons for that. But the main reason is that as a woman, we don't have enough testosterone to build big muscles.
Mhm.
That's the bottom line. When you see a bodybuilding competition and you see those women that compete in bodybuilding and they have those male type physiques, is because they take drugs, and so they do develop that testosterone, and that's the only way a woman can get look like this. But as a, just as a regular woman, we don't have enough testosterone to build those muscles. And also what I want to say is, even if you wanted to have like a fitness competitor physique, you know, where you actually get really sculpted and toned and all this, what I want to say is it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of training. And unless it's your passion and this is really what you want, you're not going to get that.
I had a woman who was a trainer once, and she did the bodybuilding and all of that. And wow, the deprivation she went through, the restrict. I mean, she ate like literally like chicken and that was it. I mean, like chicken, that was it. Breakfast, lunch. I mean, the things that you people just put themselves through. But again, if you're committed and it's a goal, you just have to. But that's not the average woman. We're
No,
not gonna.
that's not the average woman, and that's not me either. Okay,
Mhm.
I did my stage. I did 45 years of being on stage, of doing the thing that I needed to do to be on stage. But as a mature woman now, I just want to be healthy, strong, and pain free. Okay, so I don't care to go and to put myself through this. And I think that most women just really want to feel good. And you know,
Absolutely.
and so I want to tell you that strength training is actually the number one anti-aging sport now. There's so many research that points towards strength training, even for boosting the immune system, not only for fighting osteoporosis, which was the topic of the week you mentioned, but
Yeah.
even to prevent cancer. And I recently I read a research that says that it even has the potential to um, prevent or reverse neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer. And
Wow.
yes, it's very profound. And what really impressed me about this article is that they were talking about when you can increase a person's strength through the legs, through the bottom up, then that's when the neurochemicals flood to the brain. It opens channels to the brain and
Wow.
creates new neurons in the brain, and therefore preventing and reversing neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer. But what really impressed me about reading this research is this very principle is the principle that we go by in all our programs. This is one of the things that Stephen, Dr. Fitness USA, my husband now,
Yeah, that is a little fun.
has been teaching for over 50 years, way before there was any research done. So what I'm finding, the more I read and the more I look at the research, I'm finding that all these things that he was teaching throughout the years, the 5 decades, are things that now science is catching up with. And
There
it's
always has
very
to be
validating.
someone. Yeah, very much so. Like I always think of like, because I am my Pilates background and Joseph Pilates was doing all of his things and now science is proving why, right? So there has to be somebody who's groundbreaking. And that sounds like, your husband in this program is. And what I love what I'm hearing from you is that yes, it's strength training. And a lot of women, especially women over 50, that strength training is a word like they run from. But to
Mhm.
know that, like you said, you're not you're not looking for women to help them get bulky. You're looking for women who want to feel healthy and live long and live strong. And I've got another guest coming on later this week talking about brain health. So to know that strength training is another thing that can help with that. I mean, what a cool, I mean,
Oh yeah.
a lot of bang for your buck when you're talking about exercise.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I write for the In the Limelight publication. You
Yep.
read that in my bio, and my next article, which will come out November 1st, I think, soon, is actually the neuroscience of strength training or of
Oh, I
exercise to
love it. I
generalize it
love
a
the
little more.
science stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, so and in that article I specifically speak about what happens and how that whole process of exercise and regenerating brain function and the neurons and all this. So yes, it is amazing.
So Batista, what I liked about when you and I spoke, and even more so now when I'm hearing, because I too, right? We it's one thing just to teach something, but it's another thing to understand why you're teaching it and what what are the movements mean, what is going on the whole, and that's where I come from too. I need to know why. If you want me to do it and be consistent with it, and you want me to, then I need to know why. And I think that's why even like intermittent fasting, when I got why it worked, now I get it, so I'm going to do it. So the same thing with exercise. I think it's hard for people, but it sounds like the way that you talk about it, when you understand what it's doing for you, how can you say no, right? How can you not do what you know is going to be good for you?
Yeah, especially when you really know. Like
Yeah.
I talk to some people often, and they like a woman I talked to recently, and her husband had a stroke, and she's overweight, and she's kind of in a slump, right? And now the medical bills are getting higher, and all this, and so I I was actually telling her about the strength training for her health. And so many people have uh, excuses. That's the thing. Oh no, my medical bills are too high, and now we have to eat well, we have to do vitamins, but you have to look at the core of the problem and fix that. And then to end the conversation, she says, "Well, when I'm ready to move a muscle, you'll be my to-go person."
Gotta meet people where they are. Gotta meet people where they are. Without a doubt. Without a
Well,
doubt.
you know what they say: when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So
That is right.
we'll have to. The student has to be ready. I was ready, and
Yeah, like, and somebody appeared. So absolutely, absolutely. I love that. I love that. So anything else you want to share around myths right now, or you want me to, or
yes,
at
I would
all?
love to share one more thing.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and it's still in the
Yeah,
same.
and you're fantastic. I love all your tidbits. I'm learning so much, so you can share all you want.
Yeah, and it's in the same line of the getting bulky and all this, but it's about weight loss. Okay.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go off screen and let you talk for a minute. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. So about weight loss, a lot of women tell me I need to lose weight first before I start on a strength training program, because they are afraid to get bigger, and then they want to lose weight before they start on the strength training program. So what I want to say is actually it's completely the other way around. First of all, when you develop lean muscle mass through strength training, you boost your metabolism. And so you're going to burn calories while you're doing the strength training activity, but you are going to continue to burn calories like 3 days past your workout sessions. So basically, you're going to burn calories for 4 days just because of that one training session, just because you have built the muscle. So in order to boost your metabolism, strength training is really your number one activity of choice. When you do aerobic activity, yes, you're going to burn the calories while you're doing your treadmill or whatever, but that's it. After you're done with that training session, you're not burning any more calories. So strength training, actually, again, it's more for your buck, right? Bigger bang for your buck
Yeah.
in the type of exercise you want to do. And besides, you're not going to get bulky. We already addressed that.
Yeah.
But the benefit is you're going to start toning. Okay, so you're going to start changing shape. And folks, you cannot sculpt fat. All right.
What? Come on then. Darn. Okay.
So strength training, forget the treadmill. Go and pump some iron. And another thing I want to say real quick, since I am on the myth and on that topic, I talk to a lot of women, and I say, oh, yes, I'm strength training. How much are you lifting? 5 pounds. That's not strength training. Okay. So many women, because of the fear of getting bulky, are going to do very lightweight and high reps. And they think they're strength training. This is not strength training. I mean,
Okay.
it's not considered strength training. In order to be called strength training, you have to activate certain muscle fibers in the body that are getting activated with heavy weight. When you do that lightweight and those high reps, that's more like aerobics. And in the long run, it's going to irritate your tendons, joints, or whatever. So you need to have both. You need to have the slow twitch muscle fibers, the fast twitch muscle fiber, so you can activate all muscle fibers in the body and get the benefits that strength training is going to give you. And that is not going to happen with 5 pounds. Okay. Now I'm not
Well, you
saying that.
blow my mind. I got to tell you, that's incredible information that you're giving right now, right? Because I'm the original 5 pound person, like lots of reps and five, because I have issues and this, that. But you mentioned how it can actually end up hurting, and I
Yeah.
did. I got some elbow and stuff from the light weights. And so I was afraid. I mean, because I have some back issues. And so I've been afraid of heavy. I've always been afraid of heavy, but I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to me. I want to hear more what you're saying and learn more about this heavy. Yeah, this type of strength, the real type of strength
Yes,
training.
and
Sorry,
of
I
course.
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, please do anytime because I can talk forever. I love the topic. No,
I
please.
hear you. When you love something, you just you want to share. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So having said that, I'm not saying that you have to lift heavy all the time, everywhere, anywhere. However, right, there is a ratio that has to happen between the different body parts. But there are certain body parts that you need to lift heavy. Some are in the leg, the chest. The chest is harder for women. I see a lot of women doing very, very light weight on the chest. And I'll give you a tip, a secret. A lot of emotions are stored in the chest, and sometimes I find that this is one of the reasons why a woman actually is afraid to do those chest presses. And when you can reach a certain weight with the chest, what it will do is it will give you a sense of calm and stress relief, like 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 nothing else.
So
A
you're
feel
getting
good.
basically you're getting an emotional release when you're able to hit a certain weight in that. That makes total sense. I mean, right? Because you're going back, you're letting your heart go forward, and absolutely, I love.
Yes,
Wow, incredible.
yes,
That's really interesting. Really, really
yes.
interesting. Well, thank you for that tip. So we're definitely doing a lot. So what about, you're talking, so I kind of mentioned pain and you mentioned pain a little bit. So I know that you work with pain because you said that's what you did for yourself, but also injury prevention and rehabilitation as well. So, is there something along that?
Yes, so the way we work is all the programs that we teach and create are designed to put the body back into balance. And the first thing that we do, we work on posture, realigning the posture, because posture is the lifeline to your health. So a lot of people say, oh, you have to build the core. Once you build the core, your backache is going to go away. We don't look at it this way. We look at it from first addressing the foundation of the body, which is the spine, and then correcting muscular imbalances, because you can adjust the spine all you want. If your muscles are going to tweak you out of balance, then your posture is going to continuously go out of whack. And this is oftentimes what chiropractors don't tell you. is, that you go, you get an adjustment, you feel good for a day, and then you're back. And it's because they don't teach you how to correct the muscular imbalances, which are ultimately going to hold your spine into alignment. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing, and it's very, very important, and it's a lot of times it's completely overlooked. When you look at people how they work out, you will see that many times they are just working out from the position they're in. So if they're like this, they're going to work everything like this, and so in our programs we do everything so that we reverse it. We pull the body open. We work on posture. So that's the first thing. The second thing that is also different in what we do is we work with the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So the nervous system is actually what is responsible for the healing of the body. Basically, your emotions, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you speak, the way you move is controlled by the nervous system. And when your nervous system is on overload, then you're going to blow a fuse. I like to compare it to like the electrical panel in your house. All right. So the electrical panel in your house, when it's outdated and you plug in too many appliances, then what is going to happen? You're going to blow a fuse. So the same happens with the body. When your nervous system is out of whack, outdated, because of stress, because of pressure, because of work, because of whatever is going on, and then you continuously put more appliances, then you blow a fuse. What does that look like in terms of fitness? No pain, no gain. Come on, let's do it. Do more. The show must go on. All the things that I suffered from as a professional dancer. But this is what people do when they go to get in shape. They always think that they have to do more, that it's about no pain, no gain. So they hire a personal trainer to get them accountable, to push them to do more than they can, etc., etc. And it is just like plugging too many appliances on an outdated nervous system, and you blow a fuse, and then you get injured, and then things happen, you give up. So what we do is we ground the body first. So we are never going to do things running up and down the stairs, jumping up on boxes, doing jumping jacks, planks, push-ups, pull-ups. We don't do any of this. We ground the body, we work on posture, and then we work on that strength increase. When you can increase your strength by 20 to 50%, it's kind of like rewiring your nervous system. Physical, emotional, spiritual, mental strength is all related. So basically, we rewire your house.
I love that. I love your analogy too, the plugging in and all of that. And I mean, you can visualize it. I mean, you can really see all of that. So that's great. I love where you guys come from. Where you are coming from in terms of how you're approaching exercise. It really is something different than that gym mentality. And I know that you were doing this a lot in the gyms too, right? And now you're
Yes.
taking it online as well, so that we can, other people can do that. I do want to hear a little bit about your program, and so forth, and things that you're coming up. So you want to talk a little bit about that, maybe, or?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking.
I'd love to
So
hear.
we did work in the gym. We did go for 4 years ago. We took our programs online. Always still teaching people in the gym. Since the pandemic, we have developed programs that people can do at home. So the first thing is we developed a program that you can do at home with or without equipment, even with just a bottle of water. If you want to start building strength, a lot of women don't maybe have strong legs, but a lot of women don't know how to work the upper body, so they end up having two bodies on one frame, strong legs and nothing upstairs. And so that's one masterclass that we offer now. And then we also have a full course that's a 6 weeks course where we teach you a full system that's done with workout bands. So the master class, actually, I have one coming up. It's going to be on October 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's actually about this time next week. And I would love to invite you to come to attend that class. And for your wonderful group here, I would like to offer it to you for only $1 so that you can come and experience my world and learn the basic of working out with or without equipment from home.
Well, first of all, thank you. $1. I mean, for you, wow, like that's just an awesome, awesome offer. And I do hope that people get on and do the master class. There is right there. There's the address I have on there, but I'm also going to put it in the chat so that you guys have a better, you can get to it and so forth. But definitely, I would highly, get in touch with Batista. Go to this master class, learn more from her. I mean, if it's any of the little tidbits you've been teaching us today, I can only imagine, what your 6-week course would be like, right? And I love that you use the bands that you've been able to take because I personally, I'm afraid I was so upset. I finally got myself back to the gym in February. 6 full weeks I was there, like I mean, I went there for hours. They even asked me to become a Pilates instructor there, and I swore I'd never do that again. And I said yes because I loved being there. And then literally my first day was the day they closed down for COVID. And I've been too afraid to go back, and I'm not willing to go back. I take care of elders and so forth. So
Mhm.
to be able to do a program that you don't have to go to the gym and do at home and get the same results as a gym, I mean that's pretty special. So I think that's wonderful. So for those of you guys, I hope you've enjoyed Batista. Get her book, check out her program. And I do have a Facebook group of your own that maybe people would be interested in joining or some
Yes, you
other
can
way.
join. You can join a stronger you. So the the master class is called a stronger you, and my Facebook group is also called a stronger you.
I got
So
lots of midlife mojo stuff. I hear you. You get a good name, you get a good name.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. So wonderful. Well, I am just going to take you off. I'm just going to kind of wrap everything up here, but just thank you again for being on. Just wait just a moment, and afterwards I'll chit chat.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank you.
you. All right, ladies. So wow, right? Like I told you my commitment to this group is to bring you top-notch people, and she and Batista was definitely one of those people. And so I just want to remind you that even though tonight we were at 7 p.m., typically our Midlife Mojo Mondays are at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I also want to remind you that on Fridays at 11:30 on Zoom, and there's always a link a half hour before in the group. That's a free call, and you can just jump on, and that's typically for intermittent fasting questions, but I'm happy to answer anything. Not a lot of people get on, so you usually get a lot of one-on-one or two-on-one of Jill's attention. So definitely want to pay attention to that. And I think that is it for this week's Midlife Mojo Monday. Oh, also this week I do have is our Women with Mojo series we have again. And so that's going to be Wednesday night at 7:30. And I have another special guest on for that. And that's just the mission of Midlife Mojo to be the premier support, education, and resource center for women over 40. So if you know anybody that you think would be a real, or you yourself, you think would be a really good guest for my clientele, and that you think you have something to offer the woman over 40, a natural solution that could really help her, then please private message me. I'd love to see how we can, benefit and help each other and help the women in this group. So with that being said, if I can get to the screen I want to, which let's see, I am going to. Let me see if I can get where I want. Yep. All right, I'm going to take myself off, and I'm going to send you ladies off for the night. Thank you for joining us tonight again, and I will see you